R&B 103. We have on the line Brooklyn Alexander, and I am not worthy.
You are hilarious, man. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Just let everybody know what's going on, how long you've been in this game, and where you think this game is headed, and how much fun you're having doing what you do. Because you do a lot for us here.
You know what? I have lost count how many years it's been, because I graduated from college around 81, and I was supposed to be going to get my graduate degree in journalism. But during the time that I was waiting to go during the summer, I fooled around and got a job at a country western station. Then I got a full-time job at a radio station in Macon, Georgia. I ended up forgetting about grad school and going into radio. So that's how I ended up. That was back in 81, and I've been doing it off and on since then. I flunked out of math. What is that, 40-something years?
Yeah, 40 years deep.
Man, I'm feeling old, I'm telling you.
No, you're feeling young because you're doing a passion. It's something that you love to do. I know you've been with us, R&B 103, going on 6 years now.
Man, I can't believe it's been that long. Time flies, or as my mother would always say when we were growing up, she spoke a little bit of Latin, and she would say, tempus fluget, meaning time flies in Latin.
All right, that just went by me. So where are some of the places that you worked? I know that you worked in major market radio.
I started in Thompson, Georgia at WTWA, which was country western station, working overnight. And then I got a full-time job in Macon, Georgia. I worked there for a good while. And from Macon, I ended up going to Augusta, Georgia. From Augusta to Charleston, South Carolina, that I absolutely loved Charleston. Whoo, the seafood. I got fat as all get out. Don't tell me you cannot get fat off seafood, because I'm here to tell you, you can. And I did that, and from Charleston, I got a job in Atlanta, Georgia at KISS 104, and I worked at KISS for a good while until the opening came up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is where I met you. I was in Chat for 9 years. Then I moved to Memphis for a year. Memphis, by the way, was where I met Tony St. James. Shout out to my ski-wee, Alpha Kappa Alpha in the house. And took a break from radio and went into event management. And that's where I did event management for the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce in Rockville, Maryland. And I did their signature events, which were $10,000 per table events. And that was a stressful job, but I loved it. I was there when 9/11 hit.
And, wow, okay.
Yeah, I was up on the rooftop and wonder of the building taking a break, and then all of these jets started flying over the air. It's like, what in the world is going on? This is because Rockville is not far from DC. It's like, what in the world is happening? So I went downstairs and went into the office. Everybody was just crying. It's like, what happened? And they pointed to the television, and I saw the Twin Towers fall. They told us we could go home, but we couldn't leave because the metro was shut down. So we were basically there until we could find alternate ways to get home, and until they determined that the metro was safe enough for everybody to take. But that was an experience, I'm telling you.
How did you get involved in news, Brooklyn?
Well, that dated back to when I was in college. I was always pretty good at writing. I was on the Peachite, which was the college newspaper at Fort Valley State University. At the time, it was Fort Valley State College. That tells you how long ago I was there. I was on the Peachite, the newspaper, won a few awards with that, which is why I wanted to further my career in journalism, because that's what I loved doing. I didn't know I had a skill set for radio until I got my first job in radio at WTWA in Thompson, Georgia.
So, of course, you know, the internet is blowing up. Internet radio stations are blowing up all over the world at this point. And we just happen, and I always say, to be sitting right in the middle of it. Where do you think this industry is headed?
I think it's headed towards the brick and mortar stations are going to be dinosaurs. Honestly, I believe that internet is going to be the thing. Internet is where it's headed because people are more mobile. They're streaming a lot, and even people don't go to the movies like they used to. You can stream at home. So the same thing is happening to radio. Brick and mortars may still be around in limited numbers, but I see it being more of a streaming sensation now.
Wow. I'm quite sure you remember when we were all on AM and then FM came along and we got involved in that. Now it's streaming, and you are absolutely correct talking about, well, people do go to the movies, but they can watch it on streaming at home. Might have to wait a while like me. It's turned into that. So that's where you see the end game for radio itself.
Exactly. I haven't been to a movie since pre-pandemic, to a movie theater at least, because I stream everything online. Anything that I want to see, I make a note of it, and eventually it's going to come on Netflix or HBO Max or Peacock, whatever, Prime Video, you name it, Paramount Plus. It's going to come on one of those at some point. So I don't really have to go to the movies. I just be patient and wait for it to stream on one of the channels that I already have.
Just to mention, I look in my closet and I have a box full of VHS.
You old geezer.
Okay, what am I going to do with these? And they say, well, you could transform them to CDs. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that because I don't even have a CD player.
Well, see, I can't even make fun of you at all, man. I was cleaning up over at my mom's house, and guess what I ran across? An old 8-track of Al Green.
Oh, wow. Get it out. A 8-track.
Yes. You know who has absolutely nothing to play it on? Me.
You? I mean, do they say you probably can get an 8-track player from maybe like Amazon or eBay or something like that? I think my last 8-track I had was 8-track of The Last Poets.
Oh, but at least you got good taste.
Yeah, Last Poets. That used to be that's when rap just really started to. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, you got to go back to The Last Poets. Even before that, but The Last Poets kind of like made it acceptable. Even though it was edgy, it made it acceptable. And after that, look where poetry, rap music is now.
Oh, I did forget to mention when I worked in Augusta, guess who I worked for? The one and only James Brown.
Oh, you worked at his station?
Yes. It was an interesting experience, let me tell you. When I worked for him, when I first started, rather, the radio station was in one trailer and the sales force was in another trailer. Well, both of the trailers sat next to a railroad track. Whenever the train came by, we could not crack the mic. And at the top of the hour, we had to play a James Brown record at the top of every hour. 1 hour, I forgot to play a James Brown record. Man, the hotline rang. It was James Brown. At the time, I wasn't going by Brooklyn. He said, "Me Logan, why you ain't play my record?"
Yeah, I'm using one of the
So he chewed me out about that, and I never forgot again. But working for him was interesting because there were periods of time we kind of had to race each other to the bank to make sure that we got paid.
And his signature was on the check.
Yeah, not all of those checks were going to clear. So whoever could drive the fastest or run the fastest to the bank, those were the ones that got paid. The rest of us just have to wait until he made them good. It only happened to me one time. I learned to move real fast on payday.
Oh, that is so funny. But look at it as something that you could always cherish, that, you worked at James Brown's station.
Yes, I did, and met some really nice people there. As a matter of fact, the guy who taught me how to do production worked at that station, Bill Black. He's still a production guru. It was back during the time before you used voice wave files like we do today. We had a grease pencil, razor blade, and we had tape that we recorded on, you had to splice the tape and get everything to match up. That's how I became a professional at doing production.
You dropped it on me. I have to tell this story. We were doing mornings together, remember?
Yeah, in chat.
You were the production director. I couldn't edit nothing. I mean, I come in, we'd go and do the morning show and, maybe cut a couple of commercials, and I was out of there. But I had to learn how to do it because I think at the time the program director, he said he wanted 2 pieces of music on each commercial. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget this. You told me, I want you to take the footsteps in Michael Jackson's Thriller, edit it out to make the footsteps even longer than what they were. You remember that? And I had edit tape, splice tape all over the place. It was a total mess, but I learned. So thank you.
You are welcome. Bill, when he put me in the production studio, he gave me a sentence and he said, I need you to switch the sentence around so that this person is saying this. It must not sound like it's edited. It took me a good while, but I was able to do it. And when I did it, then I knew that I had it.
Well, you definitely have it, Brooklyn. And you are one of the best editors that I know. Your newscasts are superb and superior. People, they'll listen. It's like, well, she sounds like she's on ABC News.
I'll send hearing aids to everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Brooklyn, I want to thank you very much for checking in. Any last things you want to say? Where can people catch you? What you doing?
Well, you can catch me, of course, middays on Saturday mornings between 10 a.m. and 1 o'clock p.m. right here on RMB 103, where the music plays. And I thank you very much, Dwayne McClain, for giving me the opportunity to do what I love, because I definitely love radio. So thank you very much, man. I appreciate you, and I love you dearly from the bottom of my heart.